Hi everyone! Welcome to Grade 10 Science lesson. I am Girly T. Manalansan, your science teacher. I hope you are always healthy and safe while you are studying, my dear students. For today's topic, we will be discussing Quarter 3, Module 4.2, Explain how mutations may cause changes in structure and function of protein. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to explain how mutations may cause changes in structure and function of a protein. S10 LT-3E-38. Differentiate the kinds of chromosomal mutations and value the significant understanding about genetic mutation and how it may affect one's life. Students, before we proceed, let us have a short review. Kindly join me in completing the table. I have here the order of bases in DNA, order of bases in mRNA or messenger RNA, order of bases in tRNA or transfer RNA, and amino acid coded into proteins. Number 1, we have guanine, adenine, adenine. The order of bases in mRNA is cytosine, uracil, and deuracil. The order of bases in tRNA is guanine, adenine, and adenine. The amino acid is leucine. That's correct. Number 2, we have adenine, cytosine, adenine. For mRNA, we have uracil, guanine, uracil. The order of bases in tRNA is adenine, cytosine, adenine. And finally, the amino acid coded into protein is cysteine. That's nice! Number 3, we have A. The answer for order of bases in mRNA will be U, and U. And finally, for tRNA, A, and A. The amino acid is phenylalanine. Very good. Finally, for number 4, we have cytosine, adenine, thymine. For the mRNA, guanine, uracil, and adenine. For tRNA, we have cytosine, adenine, uracil, and for the amino acid, that's correct, valine. Well done, learners! That signifies that you learned a lot from our previous lesson. Let's start! Learners, I want you to read the following sentences. No, not like that. Read the sentences below. The dog bit the cat. Ano kaya ang mangyayari kung isang letra sa unang pangungusap ay nabago? The dog bit the car. Tama. Nabago rin ang kahulugan nito. Kanina, cat. Ngayon naman ay car. So, nagkaroon ng pagbabago sa kahulugan ng pangungusap. Katulad lamang yan ng ating lesson ngayon. Kapag nagkaroon ng pagbabago sa nitrogenous base, ang malilikha nito ay ibang amino acid. Laging tandaan na ang amino acid ay ang building blocks ng protein. What is mutation? It is a change in the base sequence of DNA. Again, change in the base sequence of DNA. So, pag nagkaroon ng pagbabago sa DNA sequence, ibig sabihin, Ito ay tumutukoy sa mutation. Mutations may affect only one gene or they may affect the whole chromosome. When the code in a gene is changed, a different message may result. Any mistake in the transcription of genetic information from DNA to RNA or pairing of codon may cause changes in the kind, sequence, and number of amino acids of protein synthesis by cells. Always remember that changes in the protein structure or level of expression may lead to changes in cellular properties and behavior. As a result, the organism is affected. Pwedeng magkaroon ng mutation sa Archaebacteria, Eubacteria, Protista, Fungi, Plantae, and Animalia, and kahit na sa virus. Mutation may be induced by factors called mutagens. What are mutagens? Mutagens are common in the form of toxic chemicals and harmful radiation. Mutation can occur in two different types of cells. Number 1, reproductive cells. We have here the egg cell as well as the sperm cell. Number 2, we have body or somatic cells. Ito naman ay tumutukoy sa lahat ng cells sa katawan except the egg cell and then the sperm cell. At iyan ang dalawang uri ng cell na pinangyayarihan o pwedeng pangyarihan ng mutation. Let us proceed in the two types of mutation in gamete cells or reproductive cells. Number 1, we have gene mutation. It is a permanent change in the DNA sequence that makes up a gene. Here are the examples of gene mutation. Number 1, it is when by accident extra DNA bases are added to the DNA. The insertion changes drastically the nature of the proteins produced by the DNA chain. Kung mapapansin niyo dito sa insertion, so it is a blank space, pero dahil nagkaroon ng accident extra DNA bases na nadagdag dito sa gene, so magkakaroon talaga ng pagbabago sa production ng protein. Number 2 for the gene mutation is deletion. It is a part of mutation in which a part of chromosome or sequence of DNA is left out during DNA replication. Nagkaroon ng deletion o nawala ang isang nitrogenous base sa DNA. So definitely, magkakaroon ito ng pagbabago sa production ng protein. The third type of gene mutation is the substitution. It is a type of replication error during DNA replication which places the wrong nucleotide or sequence for nucleotides in the wrong position. So kung mapapansin niyo, dapat ang gene sequence niya is ACTG, nagkaroon ng pagbabago, naging ACGG. Let us proceed to the second type of mutation in gamete cell. Number 2 is the chromosomal mutation. It occurs at the chromosome level, resulting in gene deletion, duplication, or rearrangement that may occur during the cell cycle and meiosis. Here are the types of chromosome mutations: deletion, inversion, translocation, and duplication. Let us differentiate the type of chromosomal mutation. Number 1, we have duplication. It involves the production of one gene or more copies of a gene or region of a chromosome. Gene and chromosome duplications occur in all organisms, though they are especially prominent among plants. So ito ang original chromosome niya, nagkaroon ng tinatawag na duplication mutation. So magbabago ang laki ng kanyang chromosome. This is the section of DNA is duplicated. So sa appearance pa lang, makikita natin na nagkaroon na siya ng pagbabago or changes. The second type of chromosomal mutation is deletion. Same with the gene mutation, ang part ng DNA sequence ay na-delete, ganun din naman sa chromosome. Again, sa gene mutation, meron tayong deletion. Sa chromosomal mutation, meron din tayong tinatawag na deletion. It refers to the loss of a segment of DNA or chromosome. In our figure, this is the original chromosome, and then this is the deleted part of the chromosome. Before deletion, ito ang kanyang appearance. And after deletion, ito na ang kinalabasan ng chromosome. Makikita natin na talagang nagkaroon ng pagbabago. The third type of chromosomal mutation is the inversion. It involves the breakage of chromosome in two places in which the resulting piece of DNA is reversed and reinserted into the chromosome. This is the original chromosome and then the mutated one. So in inversion, walang na-loss or gain na part ng chromosome. Makikita natin dito nagkaroon ng reinserted and reverse part ng DNA. Let us have the fourth type of chromosomal mutation, translocation. It occurs when a piece of chromosome breaks off and attaches to another chromosome. If you will notice, we have two chromosomes here, and after the mutation, nagkaroon ng breakage sa unang part at nalipat ito sa ikalawang chromosome. So, nagpalitan lang sila kung ano yung naputol dito, yon naman ay nag-attach sa isang chromosome at ang naputol na part naman sa ikalawang chromosome ay nalipat sa unang chromosome. So, that is the translocation. Mutations can be neutral. We have here the genetic code table. It contains the 20 amino acids as well as its codon. Say for instance, the mRNA codon that we have is AUC. After mutation, the mRNA codon became AUA. Bakit siya matatawag na neutral? Dahil ang specific na amino acid ng AUC ay isoleucine. And after mutation, ang AUA ay mayroong corresponding amino acid na isoleucine din. Nagkaroon ng pagbabago sa nitrogenous base, ngunit wala namang pagbabago sa kanyang amino acid. Some mutations may improve an organism's survival. Most mutations are harmful. We all know that protein plays an important role in the cell. When mutation occurs, the protein definitely changes. Ang cell, tissue, organ at organ system ay hindi makahaganap ng maayos at ito ay magre-resulta ng medical condition. Mutation in a body or somatic cells are known to cause cancer, while mutation in reproductive cells can cause birth defects. When is mutation inherited, or kailan nga ba namamana ang mutation? An individual offspring inherits mutation only when mutation are present in paternal egg cell or sperm cell. Pag nagkaroon ng fertilization, magkakaroon din ng mutation ang offspring. Abnormalities in chromosomal structure may occur during meiosis. Let us discuss the different genetic disorders. Number 1, we have Karyotype. It is caused by the deletion of part of the short arm of chromosome number 5. So we have here the karyotype of Karyotype. Kung mapapansin ninyo sa chromosome number 5, yung part ng short arm niya is deleted. So, ang naging resulta niyan is Karyotype. The affected individuals have wide set of eyes. Yung eyes niya. They have a small head and jaw. And they are moderately to severely mentally retarded. And very short. The second genetic disorder is Down syndrome. It is caused by an extra copy of chromosome 21 or trisomy 21. This is the karyotype of Down syndrome or trisomy 21. Alam naman natin na ang human ay may 23 pares ng chromosomes for a total of 46 chromosomes. Pagdating sa number 21 na chromosome niya, mapapansin ninyo na 3 ang chromosomes sa halip na 2 lamang. So the birth defects that we have in this specific karyotype is Down syndrome. Image of a Down syndrome. Characteristics include decreased muscle tone. They have slanting eyes and then asymmetrical skull. And they are mild to moderate mental retardation. Number 3, we have Edwards syndrome. Second most common trisomy after Down syndrome is a trisomy of chromosome 18. This is the karyotype of Edwards syndrome. Same with Down syndrome, chromosome number 18 niya ay naging 3 sa halip na 2 lamang. So, ang syndrome na meron tayo sa particular na karyotype na ito ay Edwards syndrome. Symptoms include mental and motor retardation and numerous congenital anomalies, causing serious health problems. About 99 die in infancy. The fourth genetic disorder is Jacobsen syndrome, also called terminal 11q deletion disorder. This is the image of chromosome of Jacobsen syndrome. This is a very rare disorder, and those affected have normal intelligence or mild mental retardation with poor or excessive language skill. Most have a bleeding disorder called Paris-Trousseau syndrome. The fifth and sixth disorder that we have is the Klinefelter syndrome and the Turner's syndrome. We have here the karyotype of Klinefelter syndrome, and at the 23rd pair, instead of XY, you can see here an extra copy of chromosome. That's why the Klinefelter syndrome's sex chromosome is XXY. For the Turner syndrome, X instead of XX or XY. Kung mapapansin ninyo, isa lamang sex chromosome ng Turner's syndrome. Letter A is the Klinefelter syndrome. They are taller than average height. Ang kanilang breasts ay nagkakaroon ng development. They have small testes, and the pubic hair pattern is a female type. Men with this condition are usually sterile and tend to have longer arms and legs. They are often shy and quiet and have a higher incidence of speech delay. Letter B, we have Turner syndrome. They are short stature, poor breast development, rudimentary ovaries or underdeveloped ovaries, and no menstruation at all. That is the Klinefelter syndrome and Turner's syndrome. After discussing the different genetic disorders, let us now proceed to karyotype. It is an image of the full set of chromosomes of an individual that shows the normal number, size, and shape. It may also reveal the gender of a fetus or test for certain defects through examination of cells from uterine fluid called amniocentesis. Learners, mayroon akong separate na video para mas maunawaan ninyo ang human karyotyping. Let's have the karyotype of human. We have here the normal karyotype of male as well as the female's karyotype. Always remember that humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes for a total of 46 chromosomes. We have 22 pairs of autosomes. So from 1 to 22, tinatawag itong autosomes. And 1 pair of sex chromosome. Same with female. We have autosome and then 1 pair of sex chromosomes. Learners, always remember that the sex chromosome of male is XY and XX for female, and that is the karyotype of human. Amniocentesis is a procedure in which amniotic fluid is removed from the uterus for testing or treatment. Sa pamamagitan ng proseso na ito, malalaman ang gender ng fetus, pati na kung ito ay normal o may chromosomal defects. Let us have a brief discussion regarding genetic engineering. It is a modern biotechnology produces transgenic or GM crops of organisms. It is the process of using recombinant DNA or rDNA to alter the genetic makeup of an organism. Let us have an example of genetic engineering. We have here an image of healthy pancreas and then diabetic pancreas. Each pancreas consists of islets of Langerhans. This is the islets of Langerhans of a healthy pancreas and of diabetic pancreas. When we say islets of Langerhans, that is a group of pancreatic cells secreting insulin and glucagon. The islets of Langerhans in diabetic pancreas is not functioning well. With the help of genetic engineering, it isolates the insulin gene, and then the E. coli bacteria containing plasmid with insulin gene inserted, or it is now the cloned insulin. Natawag natin na recombinant DNA. And then there you have the insulin production, and finally insulin is injected regularly for glucose balance. Genetic engineering working to treat and eventually cure diabetes. Ngayon at nalaman nyo na ang ibig sabihin ng mutation, ang mga uri nito at ang resulta ng mutation, ngayon naman ay subukin natin ang inyong kaalaman. Let us have the pause test. Choose the letter of the correct answer. Number 1. It happens when the base sequence of DNA is changed, which may affect one gene or the whole chromosome. Letter A. Oxidation. B. Mutation. C. Accumulation. Letter D. Translation. Taran! Letter B, mutation. That's correct. Number 2. It is a permanent change in the DNA sequence that makes up a gene. What is it? A. Genotype. B. Karyotype. C. Gene mutation. Letter D. Gene therapy. Tadaan! Letter C, gene mutation. Nice! Number 3, it refers to the loss of a segment of DNA or chromosome. A. Deletion. B. translocation, C. Insertion, letter D. Duplication. Correct! Letter A. It's deletion. Let's have number 4. What is the genetic disorder caused by an extra copy of chromosome 18, or also known as trisomy 18? A. Down syndrome, B. Klinefelter syndrome, C. Turner's syndrome, letter D. Edwards syndrome. The correct answer is letter D. Edwards syndrome. Finally, we have number 5. You are going to identify what type of chromosomal mutation is in the picture. Letter A. Multiplication and repetition. B. Alteration and revision. C. Replication and reiteration. Letter D. Inversion and translocation. Very good, learners. Letter D. It's inversion and translocation. Very good, students. Masaya ako dahil natuto kayo. Now, kindly get your module and do the learning task. That's all for today, learners. I hope you learned a lot for today's lesson. Enjoy learning because science matters. Good day.